Want to see what time it is? It's that time. No? You can't see it? Oh well. It's race day morning. It's 3:15 in the morning. I feel like I'm just buzzing on built up energy right now and the fact that I didn't sleep for a minute last night. So I guess I'm feeling kind of good. That might change when I'm standing there at the start line getting ready to run for 2 hours straight. But right now, all good. So this weekend, after 3 months of training, I finally ran my 4th Disney half, my 6th half marathon overall. Back in the day, I wasn't really into running. I would maybe run 3 miles most, and then I wouldn't want to run anymore. But my little sister started to get into running half marathons and running distance lengths, and she wanted me to run a half marathon with her. And I said, no, 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 I will never run a half marathon. That sounds like no fun, running for 2 hours plus. But I really love Disney World so much. So she said to me, what if we run a half marathon at Disney World? And it was just our two loves coming together. And so I did my very first half marathon in Disney World in 2015. Since then, I've done now 3 more Disney races plus 2 other half marathons, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun just challenging yourself, 1, to finish that kind of distance, and 2, a thing that I've gotten into very much lately is trying to lower my time every single time I do one of these. Hi, Ace.
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing?
I'm good.
What time is it, Ace?
It's 3 in the morning.
Oh, there's Ace. Hi.
Yeah.
Show off your bid number right now.
Oh, yeah. 27.
Yeah. That's a really low number.
Where Hawkeye is. I'm just like 20 numbers below Hawkeye.
So right here is my super wrinkly bib. I guess it's a good thing that it's wrinkled because it means I worked hard and it was smushing all over my shirt. This is really cool because this means that I was in the first corral that starts the race, the first group that gets to run across the finish line. They have so many thousands of people participate in these things that they have different corrals and they're based on your pace. When I first started and did that first race with my sister, we were in the very last corral, and I think in Disney World the letters went up to P at the time. So it's been interesting tracking my corrals from race to race. It's a little lopsided, but I won't care. All right. So this race, the superhero half at Disneyland, I had the pleasure of doing with Ace, who ran the Star Wars half marathon with me back in January. And I also managed to recruit 3 more people this time around. We had Tiffany, we had Chad, and we also had my buddy Al, who has been running at a collegiate level, and now he trains a high school track team for quite a while. So I was really looking forward to seeing how fast Al in particular could finish this race. So right now it's 4:30 in the morning. The race starts at 5. We're gonna have to go over to the corrals and get lined up and ready to run. Feeling okay. Feeling a little nervous. Al and Ace are here. They're over there. They're waving. One of the first things I said to Al before we started to run was, I just gotta finish this comfortably. As long as I come in under 2 hours and I'm having fun and I finish comfortably, fine. He goes to me, why would you want to finish comfortably? What's the point if you're not challenging yourself? And that was it. Then we started running, and for the first 4 miles, I ran faster than I had ever run, and I was feeling pretty good. The course for these things is incredible. So the race starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's so you can have the opportunity to run through the park before it opens to the public. And it's really beautiful. The race starts off really strong because the first thing you do is you run through Downtown Disney, you run through California Adventure, you run through Disneyland, and you get to run through the Magic Castle, and it's so great, and there's so much staff everywhere, and there's so much to look at. One of the big differences between this Disneyland race and the last one that I ran is that they let us run through Angel Stadium, and not just into the building, it was on the field, and we got to run the perimeter of the field, which it was 1, a really nice touch, but 2, I think that was one of the steepest inclines we had to run when you came out of the field, but I think it was an even trade. I think this might have been one of the most challenging races that I've ever done. Of all of my 6 half marathons now, this was the hardest. My goal was to beat my time from January, which was 1 hour and 54 minutes. I had kind of settled in my mind that it wasn't possible to beat that, and around mile 9, I felt a little depleted, right? Really exhausted. So as we came close to the last damn mile, 13, I was just wiped out. I felt like my legs couldn't carry me anymore. And then the worst thing in the world happened. I had to use the restroom, and I don't stop for anything. I don't go to the restroom, nothing during a race. I had no choice. The first motel I saw, I veered into that. Then I got back on the track, and I had a really hard time getting going again. And then finally, another runner came up past me, and we were so close to the end at that point. We were like a half mile from the finish line, and she said to me, "We're almost there, you can do it." And then some like switch just flipped back on, and I ran the rest of the way. And at that point, I thought, you know, the ship had sailed for me meeting my time goal, and I was kind of trying to just settle on that and be okay with it in my head because I was really bummed. I didn't want to stop. And then as you get closer to the finish line, you can see how far the time has gone. And when I saw the time and it only said something like 1:51, I'm like, no way, I could still do this. So I just flew across that finish line and I got my personal best, and I was really happy with that. My personal best now is officially 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 51, I think, milliseconds.
2 minutes. I shaved 2 fucking minutes off and I stopped for a pee break. I'm like in shock right now.
So I was saying to Al before we even started, I'm like, you could win this thing, do it. And I did kind of believe myself, but I didn't really think he was gonna win it. One of the first things that I was told after I crossed the finish line was Al won. He won the whole damn thing. And as someone who has now done 4 Disney races and seen those ceremonies where they give out the awards, it was just so cool to see someone I know, one of my good friends, win this thing.
Give it up for Al! No! And literally he almost had to limbo underneath the finish line there. Woo! So tight today.
He seems so happy and proud, and he takes running so seriously, so I was so excited that he saw, you know, my fun race, and he had a great time with it, and he crushed it. I mean, 1 hour and 15 minutes, that's nuts. I think one of the main things that I would want to tell everybody about these Run Disney races in particular is so many people, as I've been training and as I've been saying that I'm going to do this really long race that you have to run for over 2 hours to complete, everyone has said, oh, that's crazy. I don't want to run for that. I can't do it. If you think you can't do it and you have the slightest feeling that you want to do it, I really can't recommend a race any more than I can the Run Disney race, especially if you're a fan of Disney properties like the superheroes, like Star Wars, Disney in general, because really, it's not easy to finish these races. You do have to train so that you feel good after and so that you could power through at the pace that you hope to finish the race in, but along the way, it's all that positivity and all that distraction and all that energy that makes it so much fun. So even though it's going to be a challenge no matter what, I don't want to say it's easy and give you that impression, but Run Disney really makes it a special experience. It's not just about running and finishing. It's about everything along the way. It's about celebrating Disney properties, celebrating the people that you're running it with. If you're thinking about doing a long distance race and you're not sure if you could do it, I really would recommend giving a Run Disney race a shot because I've had just the best experiences with them. Really, my first race was a Run Disney race. That's the reason I'm still here and still doing it. So I would definitely recommend checking that out if you want to run a half marathon. Thank you guys so much for anyone who gave me any support online during this process. It really does make a difference, so I appreciate that. Thank you to everybody watching this video. I'll see you soon with more Nemi-Vlogs.